Chat, you unlocked the secret sub goal that I have to do political compass right now. Okay, everybody wants this one. Okay, 17 questions. Let's go. I think I did this 2 years ago. Okay. Let's see if I changed. Let's see if I changed. Oppression by corporations is more of a concern than oppression by governments. Do I think corporation oppression is worse than government oppression? I think looking at planet Earth, government oppression is worse. Yes, you have corporations that do very bad stuff, for example, sweatshops, etc. Whereas governments don't. Look at Russia. Well, Russia is doing to minorities. Look at what China is doing to Uyghurs. I will strongly disagree with it. Oppression by governments is still much more concerning. It can change one day, but I will strongly disagree. It is necessary for the government to intervene in the economy to protect consumers. I fully disagree, strongly disagree. We talk about it all the time. I very much disbelieve in the free hand of the market. I think the free hand of the market is a made-up thing by capitalists. It is crystal clear, looking at the proof in front of us, that if you leave capitalism untouched, it will destroy the planet, it will be greedy, it will benefit the top 1%, and it will destroy lower middle classes. Then you agree. I said that, didn't I? I meant that. Strongly agree. I meant that. The freer the markets, the freer the people. Wow. I kind of just said no. Still, a free market is important. If we look at communism with planned market and planned economy, that's also bad. I would be neutral on sure here because of the thing I said before. Free markets are great, but a fully free market literally leads to climate change and will kill us in the long run. So I'm neutral on sure about this. Yeah. Tommy's a left-winger. Here's what I'm going to say. I think everything I just said, and will in the next 66 questions, is just logic. I'm a guy that just wants to follow logic and science, and so far, everything I said is not left or right wing, it's just logic. It is better to maintain a balanced budget than to ensure welfare for all citizens. If you don't maintain a balanced budget, you go into debt, which in the end can hurt the country a lot. Even though most countries in the world, pretty much every country in the world, is in debt and can still ensure welfare. I think even Scandinavia is in a negative budget. I also read this article a long time ago that countries going into debt is actually a good thing. It can lead to good stuff. I think I disagree, because reality shows not maintaining a balanced budget is not that big of an issue. It can still lead to good things. Public funded research is more beneficial to the people than leaving it to the market. I mean, 100%. If you leave research to the market will only research things that are beneficial for them. A capitalist will only research that can improve his profit, which even would mean, once again, climate change. A capitalist will never ever work on climate change research, because in the short run, it would lower their funding. It would lower their income. It will lower their income. So obviously, publicly funded research will be a research that is more in the public interest than actually capitalist interest. I agree, yeah. Tariffs on international trade are important to encourage local production. We have seen what happens in the US. If you put all your production into like China, you get very addicted to China. And when Corona happens and everything shuts down, your country is in a lot of trouble. This is a hard one, man. This is very hard. The problem is that tariffs benefit one side or the other. If it benefits my side, obviously I like it. If it benefits China or something, I don't like it so much. Well, if you take the question in a factual sense, then yes, the answer is obviously less. If you tariff a certain good, you help local production. Like, yes. In a way, they don't ask about my opinion. They just ask if I agree with this. And it's kind of a fact, and I would agree with it, yeah. From each according to his ability to each according to his needs. What? The principle refers to free access and distribution of goods? Capital and services. Such an arrangement will be made possible by abundance of goods and services developed. A common system will be capable to produce. The idea is that with the full development of socialism and further productive forces, there will be enough to satisfy everyone's needs. I agree that is possible. That would be a nice thing to do, but it will never happen IRL. I think I agree with that. It would be best if social programs were abolished in favor of private charity. Huh? What? No? Taxes should be increased on the rich to provide for the poor. I agree with this. I have a big tax rant every stream. I agree with this. I think if we take away a lot of money from the top 1%, this money could help a lot to help this planet a lot. The rich are way too rich. They don't need this money. I agree with this. Inheritance is a legitimate form of wealth. Well, yeah, it is, but it should be taxed. You shouldn't take it away. That's kind of illegal shit. But they're not asking for a tax. They're asking, is it legitimate? And yes, it's legitimate. Yeah. They're not asking about a tax here, chat. Basic utilities like roads and electricity should be publicly owned. No, I disagree with that. And we see that in Germany with the German train company Deutsche Bahn. When a company is state-owned, The problem is that in a capitalist world, it has a monopoly. It has no more rivals. And what happens is when there's a monopoly and no more rivalism, you become weak. You start making mistakes and you do not compete anymore. I think competition is very, very important for companies to stay good. And it shows that I think competition is very, very important. Look at video games. But then the question is different. For example, in France, there's a very fucking bullshit thing going on. Did you know in France, the highways belong to private organizations? Meaning when a French person wants to use his own highways, he has to pay a toll, which is ridiculous. Yes, it should be publicly owned. Yes. I think I got the question wrong. Yeah. Yes, obviously. Okay. You pay taxes, man. Obviously, you should be allowed to use your own roads. Yeah, I agree. Government intervention is a threat to the economy. Never. No, ultra disagree. Not true and not a fact. If you leave companies unattended, they will lie, steal, corrupt, break human rights, kill the planet. Biggest disagree ever. Those with a greater ability to pay should receive better healthcare. Personally, I agree. But obviously they shouldn't. They shouldn't. In a perfect society, that shouldn't be a thing. No. 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 Quality education is the right of all people, obviously. I mean, yeah. Why would you ever disagree? Who disagrees with that? Like, what is your reasoning? The means of production should belong to the workers who use them. No, because workers are stupid and don't know what they're doing. The United Nations should be abolished. No? What am I, fucking Iran, bro? Military action by our... It should be reformed. Military action by our nation is often necessary to protect it. Military action by our nation, let's say a fictional nation, I guess, is often necessary to protect it. History shows no. Let's say we're like America, and America is so often going to wars that are not protecting them per se. And most countries, like look at Russia right now, are using often their military in order to do something other than protection. No, no, no. I support regional unions such as European Union. 100%, yeah. It is important to maintain our nation's sovereignty. I mean, yes. I mean, sure, yeah. Not strongly agree. It's nice to slowly abolish borders and come together like in the EU. Yeah, sure. A united world government will be beneficial to mankind. I agree with that. Probably will never happen, but I agree. It is more important to retain peaceful relations than to further... It is more important to retain peaceful relations than to further our strength. The problem is in reality, you can talk to someone like Putin all day about peace, but he doesn't give a fuck. And then if you have no army, he's gonna fuck you up. So I would be neutral on this. It's still important to be strong in a world full of dictators that will threaten you all the time. Wars do not need to be justified to other countries. Who agrees this? Like Grisha Putin, Alter? Military spending is a waste of money. I used to agree, I disagree now, that's where I changed. Putin shows us that the world has to be ready to fight tyranny and dictatorships, and I disagree. Military spending is unfortunately still needed in this world. International aid is a waste of money. It's not. The more educated you make stuff like Africa, the better it's for everyone. Education is the most important thing in the world. I wouldn't think it's a waste of money. No. My nation is great. I feel like no nation is great. I disagree. Research should be conducted on an international scale. Come on, man. Come on. Governments should be accountable to the international community. 100%. Unfortunately, in real life, that doesn't really work. Because ain't nobody gonna go to fucking Den Haag. But sure, obviously. Even when protesting an authoritarian government, violence is not acceptable. Strongly disagree. I think if Russians rise up right now to take down this motherfucker that is... And they use violence, that is legit as fuck, man. 100%. Disagree, man. My religious values should be spread as much as possible. No. Our nation's values should be spread as much as possible. No.
Shout out to
I like
John,
my nation's values. I like democracy in the West, but it's not our right to tell a Muslim Southeast Asian country, shut the fuck up! I'm talking here, hey! It is not our right to tell other people how to live. I don't agree with that. No, disagree. It is very important to maintain law and order. I mean, who is it? What the fuck? Looking for an anarchist? The general population makes poor decisions. Yes, 100%. Physician-assisted suicide should be legal. Yes. I mean, again, how can you discuss this? The sacrifice of some civil liberties is necessary to protect us from acts of terrorism. This is where I'm edgy. I agree with this. I do not care that they read my emails. I do not care that there's cameras in the streets. Because if you fucking behave, nothing bad is going to happen to you. And I feel in my 32 years of living, I've learned that criminals are getting more and more. Criminal actions are getting bigger and bigger. And I will very much welcome being looked at by a camera on the streets, but I can feel more safe. There's always cars being stolen in my neighborhood. No one does anything. The police is overwhelmed. I agree with this. So government surveillance is necessary in the modern world. Yeah. I think if you look at countries with surveillance, for example, let's look at London. It's not, they don't fucking control you and look at you and, oh my god, it's a police state. Just fucking behave a bit and nothing's gonna happen to you. The very existence of the state is a threat to our liberty. No. Regardless of political opinion, it is important to side with your country. No. All authority should be questioned, always. That's a very healthy thing to do in life. A hierarchical state is the best. Obviously not. No. Councils and stuff is obviously good. No. It is important that the government follows the majority opinion even if it's wrong. I disagree with this, but I also agree with it. If we choose to live in democracies, then we gotta do what most people vote for. That's the deal we're making in the West with democracy. I'm gonna stay neutral on this. The stronger the leadership, the better? Yes, because weak leadership leads to instability. If a leadership is very, very weak in its core, let's not talk about their agendas or anything, right? Just the leadership itself. A strong leader unites the people, there's less drama, less fucking bullshit. I will think a strong leadership is pretty good. Democracy is more than a decision-making process. I mean, sure, it's full of values and ideas. Yeah, sure, yeah. Environmental regulations are essential. How would you ever disagree with this? How would you ever disagree with this? Obviously, companies only care about profit, which is fine. That's how capitalism only wants profit. That's its core. That's its soul. And that's okay. That's what... I'm not saying it's bad. And that's why you need to regulate capitalism if you want to save this planet. And that's a fucking fact. I can't wait for the Discord comments I'm getting after this. A better world will come from optimization, science, and technology. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Come on. Children should be educated in religious and traditional values. Nope. Traditions are of no value. Oh, I disagree with that. Okay, yeah. Religion should be not in government. Churches should be taxed. I mean, obviously, climate change is a big threat. It's important that we work as a united world to combat climate change. Obviously, society was better many years ago. No, it wasn't. It fucking wasn't. That's a fact. It is important that we maintain the traditions of our past. Traditions are nice and cool, but also... it's important to evolve. I'm going to be neutral on this. It is important that we think in the long term. Obviously, reason is more important than maintaining our culture. Okay, obviously, drug use should be legalized. I guess I agree. It depends. You would have to look at statistics if it actually helps the country overall. I think Portugal has shown that it's good. Other people argue it wouldn't be good. Thank you, Dutch mapping. And to be honest, I'm not educated on it, and I might just neutral here. Canada has shown it isn't. It really depends. Yeah, I'm gonna be neutral. Same-sex marriage should be legal. I mean, let them suffer like all the other people. They want to get divorced and be miserable? Sure, let's go. No cultures are superior to others. Oh, let me just check something real quick. One sec, chat. Is immoral? No. If we accept migrants at all, it's important that they assimilate into our culture. I mean, yes. And that doesn't make me racist, obviously. What the fuck? Yes. Obviously. Abortion should be prohibited in most or all cases. No. Gun ownership should be prohibited for those without a valid reason. Yes. I support single-payer universal healthcare. I mean, who doesn't? Prostitution should be illegal? No. Why? They're gonna do it anyway. Maintaining family values is essential? 100%. 100%. Strongly agree. To chase progress at all costs is dangerous. Obviously, who will disagree with this? Genetic modification is a force for good, even on humans? Yes. We should open our borders to immigration? Nope. That's not how that works. When the already existing ones are Governments should be as concerned about foreigners as they are about their own citizens. My national police should care about national issues and not what my neighbor is doing? No. All people, regardless of factors like culture or sex, should be treated equally. I mean, yes. Again, why would you be against this? It's important that we further my group's goals above all others. Yes, obviously, Twitch Prime, technocracy. What is my group, right? What is my group? If my group is technocratic reason and logic, then yes, my group is more important than like fundamental Muslims, conservative Americans, conservative Jews, or Nazi-loving Germans. Then yes, my group is better. Fuck yeah. Your group is bold gingers. I don't know if I changed. Here we go. 6.2k subs for this. I'm social in my economics. I would have thought I'm more social than only 71%. I'm a very peaceful guy. I mean, yeah, sure, I don't want war. Is that weird? I'm liberal. I mean, yeah, who likes authoritarian regimes? What am I, a fucking Russian? And I'm progressive. I obviously. Okay, wait, that's all I get? Wait, that's all they show me? Wow. And you know what? I'm gonna be fucking crazy. This in front of you is just if you follow reason and logic. You're actually a socialist libtard. Twitch admin, you can never ban me, Twitch admin. And that's always where I'm a bit weird. I think I'm nothing. I just try to follow reason and logic. What are you still doing here, mate? Jeez. Well, if you want to see more, click these videos. Have fun. Looking good, boy.